I never thought I'd be the type of woman to say something so awful that it would rip apart my marriage in one brutal, heart-stopping second. But here we are. I'm Alicia, 31, and I just destroyed everything with one stupid comment. And now I'm sitting in the wreckage of my life, wondering how the hell I got here. It all started on Mark's 35th birthday. It was supposed to be a simple celebration. Just him, me, and a few close friends. Nothing extravagant. I had planned the whole thing, from the food to the decorations. I even bought him a new watch, one he had been eyeing for months. I was so proud of myself. It was a special occasion, and I wanted everything to be perfect. But things don't always go as planned. We were in the middle of singing Happy Birthday to him, and everything was going fine. I was laughing, the guests were laughing, and Mark was smiling. Then I just snapped. I had been holding it in for months. The exhaustion, the resentment, the feelings I couldn't say out loud because I didn't want to sound ungrateful. But in that moment, as I watched him laughing, the perfect picture of contentment, I said the words I never thought I'd say. "You're lucky I didn't abort our kid," I said, the words coming out before I even realized what I was doing. The room fell silent. You could have heard a pin drop. I immediately regretted it, but it was too late. Mark's face froze, and for a second it was like I didn't even recognize him. His eyes were wide, his jaw clenched. He didn't say anything. He didn't even blink. Then, without a word, he picked up the birthday cake and walked out of the house. Just like that. No explanation. No yelling, no fight. He just left. The guests were stunned. I could feel their eyes on me, filled with judgment. His best friend, Tom, just stared at me like I had sprouted horns. Mark's mom, standing in the corner, gasped so loudly I thought she might faint. My best friend, Claire, was the first to speak, but her words were hollow, empty. "Alicia, you need to go after him. This isn't like you." But I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything but sit there, frozen, the weight of what I had just said sinking in. How did I let that happen? The next few hours were a blur. The guests left in a hurry, too uncomfortable to stay. I was left alone in our empty house, sitting on the couch, staring at the spot where the cake had been. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I couldn't cry over something I had done to myself. I kept thinking about the words I had said. Why did I say that? Why did I let the anger build up until it exploded? It wasn't about the kid, not really. It was about everything else. The resentment that had been building up for years, the exhaustion, the feeling like I was doing everything while Mark was playing the role of the perfect father and husband, like he had it all together while I was falling apart. I tried to call him a few times. No answer. I texted him, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Please come home." Nothing. By midnight, I was in full-on panic mode. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus. My thoughts kept racing. I didn't want to lose him. But had I already lost him? At 1 a.m., I got a text from his brother, Jake. "He's here. Doesn't want to talk to you right now." My heart dropped. I couldn't breathe. I needed to talk to him. I needed to apologize. But I didn't even know where to begin. The next day, I called him again. His phone went straight to voicemail. I texted, "Please talk to me, Mark. I'm so sorry. I was out of line. I don't know why I said that." Still nothing. I felt like I was disappearing, like I didn't even exist anymore. Then the video showed up. Someone had recorded my outburst at the party, just the part where I laughed and said those words. Of course, it had gone viral. Facebook, Instagram, even the local news picked it up. People were sharing it, commenting on it, judging me. Everyone was talking about it. Alicia's breakdown at Mark's birthday. What kind of woman says something like that? I was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. When Mark finally brought our daughter, Ella, home from his mom's house, he wouldn't even look at me. He just handed her over, kissed her on the head, and walked out. I tried to say something, to beg him to come home, but he just turned his back and left. I was left with nothing but the empty space in our house, the silence of a marriage that had been destroyed in an instant. The divorce papers came a few days later. Mark wanted full custody of Ella. He wanted to be the one to raise her. I couldn't blame him. The way I had treated him, the way I had acted, had destroyed whatever trust we had left. I tried to fight it. I wanted to keep her. I loved her. But deep down, I knew that Mark would be a better parent. He had always been the perfect father. He deserved to be the one to raise her. I agreed to the terms. Shared custody. I'd get her every other weekend, and one night a week. It was better than nothing, but it felt like losing everything. 3 months later, I was still picking up the pieces of my life. Our house felt like a ghost town. I was alone. The video still followed me, and the shame of what I had said never went away. But in a way, it had forced me to confront myself, to see the truth. I had never wanted to be a mother. I had done it because I thought it was what was expected of me, not because it was what I wanted. And now, I had to live with that. I met with Mark once, before the custody hearing. We sat across from each other, awkward and unsure. He looked tired, the weight of the past few months on him. I wanted to apologize, but the words wouldn't come. I'm sorry for what I said. I finally managed. I never meant it, but I understand why it hurt you. He didn't say anything for a long time. Then finally he looked at me, his eyes softening just a little. I know, but you have to understand, Alicia. It wasn't just about the words, it was everything. I gave you everything and you never really wanted it. I nodded. I didn't know what else to say. In the end, the court granted him primary custody, and as hard as it was, I knew it was for the best. Ella deserved to be with someone who wanted to be her mother, even if that wasn't me. I still think about the party, about what I said, about how in one moment everything I had built came crashing down, but maybe it was the wake-up call I needed. Maybe now I can stop pretending, stop lying to myself and others about what I really want. Maybe one day I'll find my way back to who I really am. For now, I just have to accept the truth. I lost everything because of one stupid comment, but in a way, I gained something truth about myself.